hosting. We've got Peoria Life for you today. We've got a wonderful guest, PFR Promotions, Anilius, Alicia, and Matt. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are help perpetuating music and arts out in the community, and we want to learn a little bit more about it. So first, what I do know about you guys, you've got a show coming up June 14th at the Pizza Works, 8 p.m. It's $10. It's going to go to around midnight. There's like, what, 4 or 5 bands that are going to be there that night?
Yep, we have 4 bands. It's going to be Engine Huey, Potentia, January, and Painting Miss November.
Awesome. What kind of music can people expect?
It's mainly punk rock with this one. Painting Miss November is more rock as well. And January is definitely pop punk.
Oh, pop punk funk. Wait, like, I don't know. How long have you guys been doing this for?
PFR started in January of this year.
Oh, okay. So this is pretty new. So how many shows have you guys put on?
We've been moving fast.
6. This will be our 7th one.
Wow, that's incredible. And have they all been at the Pizza Works? Have you guys been hitting other locations?
So we did one at the Whole Shot in East Peoria. And we do plan on going back there. We just haven't quite yet.
Just lose somebody. Oh,
hello.
Anilius, you're up. Oh, there they are.
Hi. Hello. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Well, hello, AJ.
Hi. I had to change my insulin pump. I'm so sorry. I'm 10 minutes late. I'm happy to be here though.
Thank you so much for being here.
No.
So we're actually just talking about what inspired this. How long you guys have been in existence. But let's talk a little bit about what inspired this. So I know it's been going on since January of this year. So it's still pretty fresh. But you guys have already put on 6 shows, which is incredible. I know how difficult that is. I mean, just to find a partner for one show can be a challenge, let alone 6 in such a short time. So yeah, tell me what got you into doing this?
Is it me or on Anilius? Me?
How about you, AJ? I want to hear from you since you're new.
Okay. Well, actually, I joined a band with Matt last year. So Matt kind of introduced me into the scene, and I left the band, and I wanted to stay relevant in the scene because I really liked working with them. And then Alicia started like coming along with us too, and I just really enjoyed hanging out with everybody. And we had our first show, and Alicia did a fantastic job putting everything together, and Matt was doing such a good job like putting everything together. And I was like, you know what? I want to keep doing this, and I want to keep doing it like with these people because they make it fun and they make it like cool to be involved with, and I just really enjoy doing this. Sometimes it's like better than just like playing. I like helping other people play, especially the way like Alicia sets everything up. I love it. Like everything is so organized, and I get to help out like other people in the music scene. I'm not very experienced myself, and this has been helping me kind of get experience. I've been learning so much, and that's my favorite thing about doing anything is learning more about it. And I'm just so excited to like keep learning about it, keep learning music and meeting people and helping people. It's just been like such a fun thing overall.
What instrument did you play in the band?
I was a vocalist, and one of Matt's buddies gifted me a bass guitar, and Matt started teaching me drums. So I've been kind of dabbling in those, and I actually just bought a violin, so I've got that on the list too.
So yeah, you've got the music bug for sure.
Oh yeah.
So that's actually how I met my wife. So I was a bass player in a band, and then she and her friends came to see a show, and then she wound up being friends with our drummer who left the band, and then they started their own band, and then they opened for us at a later show, and yeah, and then we've been married for like a million years. No, 14.
Awesome.
14. But so how did you get to know Alicia? Did you guys just meet at the shows, or like how did that happen?
She and Matt worked together, and she started hanging out with us and stuff like during practice, and she was just always around, and so I really liked being around her, and I was like, you know what? I like her. I want to hang around her. She's cool.
I'll second that. So I've actually known Alicia for a long time. We used to work together in the call center. I mean, we were in the trenches. I mean, she was. I was a supervisor, so I wasn't on the. I didn't have that like constant rolling in the ear all the time. I just had the occasionally I'd have to pop onto a phone call, but man, like it was stressful and it was a tough environment. And Alicia was awesome. She had one of the best attitudes out of people there, even in a really, really difficult situation. So just bravo to you, Alicia, and bravo to you for for finding her.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
So tell me about the first show that you guys did. Where was it at? How many people were? I mean, how many bands did you guys have play that night?
We had 4 that night, didn't we?
That's the one that we only ended up with 3 because somebody didn't show up. So it was Salted Pickle.
From Chicago, right?
No, they're from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
Northern
sorry.
Illinois. Who else was it that night?
Potential was there.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the whole shot. That was our second one.
Oh, okay.
We had 3
So long ago.
It was so long ago.
Like, not even 6 months. Well, so like, how did you guys network in with these bands? Because it sounds like the network for like punk, hardcore, it runs pretty deep, but it's like it's all over the place. Like, how are you guys running into these people?
We find each other.
I mean, is it shows? Are you seeking them out on social media, or is it just you're just happy accidents all the time, just happening to
Yes.
people?
It's a mixture. Social media. It's happy accidents. It's you start talking to people and you find out what you're doing, and then like they're like, "Oh, hey, here's my friend's band," and then you talk to them, and everybody talks about it.
So tell me, what's the, and I'll let anybody in on this one, but I want to know what's the mission for PFR Productions?
I think our main like shtick or like our main thing is like support small, because like this whole time we've been promoting like small bands and small artists to kind of help like build them up, because like we've all been small before. We know what it's like to like do something really cool and nobody sees it, and we feel like nobody cares, and I feel like we're the people that care. Especially like Alicia, she does so much. Like she reaches out to people, she schedules them, like she checks up on them, she makes sure they have what they need. I'm sharing the hell out of everyone's stuff. Alicia and Matt are sharing the hell out of everyone's stuff. I mean, Alicia even helped me like find bands to join. She was sharing my post even when I wasn't in a band. Like she's really out here like helping everyone out. And I feel like that's what we do best, is like helping smaller people get that recognition that they deserve.
That's really cool. I guess, tell me a little bit more about why, because I can't imagine there's a huge amount of money in doing small gigs in in central Illinois. So like where's the motivation come from to put on 6 shows in just a few months that's huge. That's a lot of effort.
I would like to see the scene be the way it was in my glory days back in the 90s when it was really happening. I want to bring it back to that.
Oh.
So, I love to see people happy and shocked. Want to be seen because
So I'm sorry, Alicia, you need to speak up louder because it's kind of hard to hear you.
Yeah, it's cutting out a little bit.
yeah, we have this all.
With the mic covered up.
I don't know, probably.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you a little better now.
Oh, I just realized the shirt I'm wearing.
What are you wearing?
It says homo stuff.
Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Let's go.
Perfect timing.
So and Anilius. So where do you fit into the picture? How do you support?
things that have us connected. Alicia asked me to do photography for the PFR shows. So I thought that was awesome. And then I also asked them if I could make their zine, sorry, because when I was in the scene in Springfield, we had a zine called, oh God. I can't remember their old name. They have a new name now, but it was probably the coolest thing about being in the scene was having a zine and being able to write for it and have everybody knowing what's going on with everything. And so I really wanted to make a zine here locally. So it was just a good thing that happened. A very happy accidental meeting. We met through mutuals in the scene. Last year was one of the hardest years for me because I found out I was suffering from fibromyalgia. So now I don't have a 9-to-5 job. I can't function enough for that. So I do a lot of odd jobs with like camera and drawing and just whatever I can find, stage hands, roadie stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's awesome. I don't have like a big picture in mind, but it is so fun, and I really appreciate being in a group of people that are so straightforward and open and kind and just really optimistic. Like, I love a group of people who aren't hating on each other and haters, and people who can walk into their show happy with everybody there and not having like all these crazy beefs and just, I don't know. I'm lucky to be here.
Well, I mean, we're happy to have you here. You know, and it's really, I have to say, for me, from my perspective, you know, being a musician for many years and wanting to try to, you know, monetize that and falling flat on my face so hard and for so long. But then, you know, and really what was needed is exactly what you guys are talking about. And it's really the opposite of monetization. It's just experience. It's getting out on the stage, doing things that work. It's kind of like stand-up comedy, really. Like, it's, you have to get up there, see what works, and then wash, rinse, repeat, and just keep going.
Yeah.
Not that I know anything about stand-up comedy. I'm not funny.
I used to do stand-up. I mean, it's pretty much exactly that, you know, like, this whole time has been a lot of trial and error for us, just kind of seeing like what ideas we think would be cool, what we don't want to do, you know, like things we want to venture out and maybe try someday, things we're like staying away from. And I definitely feel on the like the chronic pain part of things and like the trying to stay relevant like while being disabled, because like I have a lot of joint problems actually, and playing bass has been excruciatingly difficult for me. But like, it's all trial and error, you know, like you were just saying. It's a lot of like what works for this and what doesn't. And I feel like as a group we work so good on that. Like, we're always bouncing ideas off of each other. Like Alicia and I, we design most of our flyers. Like, we're always like, oh, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? It's just like, it's small community, but it becomes big community. And helping each other out definitely helps with the difficulty of it. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, 6 shows in like, what, 4 or 5 months? That's insane. And I don't think we could have done it like just on our own. I'm so glad we have that like fallback on each other. And especially with being small, it's like, it means even more that we've accomplished this much so far, and that we have so much more planned, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. Like, I am so pumped for this. I'm like, I cannot wait to see what the future has. I'm so excited about all of this.
Well, I also think that in not chasing dollars and cents and just allowing artists to, you know, come out and do their artist thing, it creates a really kind of special and unique environment that just can, I mean, it'll take that's the right secret sauce. You're going to take somebody and just catapult them And we do very similar stuff here with Peoria Life. We're all about platforming people who do exactly this. Talking, sharing their stories, and really talking about the arts and the community and about the impact that it has on people. We were just talking about Preston Jackson the other week and the impact that he's had on the art community. He did the statue for Richard Pryor and a bunch of other really incredible statue bronze work. And I really want to interview that guy. Anshuman, work on that. Anyway,
So
I was going to ask, what
Sorry.
do you see for the future of this? Are you guys looking to add more shows, more bands, more venues, or are you looking to just kind of keep it this underground scene, but really just throw it on steroids and make it bigger?
All of the above, like all of it. We want to buy our own sound system, so that we're doing all of that. It's DIY. Like, the community is starving for this. We have so many bands reaching out, so many bands that want to play, and there's only so many days we can do it. So, all the
Yeah, like we're already booked out until like December, and the only reason we don't have a December show right now is because the venue is full, but like I could fully see us booking into next year if we even go that far yet, but I totally think we can do it. Like we're already up to over 250 followers on Facebook. I need to put our Instagram back up because that wasn't gaining as much traction, weirdly, but I think we're gonna pull this off for sure.
Well, and say if I'm a band and I want to connect with you guys, what's the best way to do that?
Just reach out to like any of us. We're always talking to each other, so
Is there Facebook, and is there a particular, like, is it just PFR Productions on Facebook and then they can like message you on there?
yeah.
PFR Promotions.
Promotion. Yeah. Oh, promotions. I doing this productions. Let me just fix that. We'll redo that intro at the end. PFR Promotions. I have been promoting a fictitious company that does not exist. PFR Promotions is the right one. Thank you, everyone. June 14th, Piece of Works, 8 p.m., $10, eardrum explosion. Moving on.
Woo!
So how long were you playing in a band? Well, I guess you were doing vocals, then you were playing bass. Were you actually playing bass in a band, AJ?
I was not. One of my buddies was the bassist. Matt was our drummer, and I was just the vocalist. But with my band now, I'm primarily the bassist and occasional vocalist, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, just when they like make you do it. It was the same for me. They kept making me do backup vocals. I'm like, I just really love playing bass. So like having to add that little element just adds this extra level of stress and an otherwise fantastically enjoyable experience.
I agreed to do Sugar by System of a Down because it's just like all yelling and energy, and I'm like, I'll do that one. If no one understands what I'm saying, it's fine because I don't either, to be completely honest.
Well, yeah, we used to do Tourette's by Nirvana. That was that was one of my favorites to do live. That and Rage Against the Machine. We do Killing in the Name of.
Yes.
And I always broke something. I broke a drum set. I broke a bass. It was a good time though. Oh, that poor Ibanez.
I mean, personally, one of my favorite bands is The Clash because they're very accessible, but they're also very like at the same time hard edge, and like they're also like.
Do you know the story behind the London Calling album cover?
I know it's based off of one of Elvis's albums with a similar coloring scheme. I mean, the making of that album is such an amazing story. Like, in between takes, like they would play intense soccer games. Not only that, their manager, he'd actually throw furniture or something just to get them into a mood and just to get them playing.
Well, the cover of London Calling is Paul Simon smashing his bass on the stage, and everybody thought it was just for being punk rock. It was their first time playing in America, and security guards were forcing these kids to sit in their seats. He just got picked off and just smashed his bass. And somebody took a photograph of that.
That's badass. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Nirvana used to do something similar, but it was because they didn't want to do encores after every show. And because they were doing like, I mean, it had elements of punk rock and grunge. It's, punk and, pop music combined. And so they would play cheap guitars. I mean, not cheap, like, Mexican Fender Strat. And then they just destroy them. They just absolutely obliterate the equipment. Nobody can ask for an encore if there's no equipment to play. It's just like brilliant.
It's brilliant.
Fender, I love it.
So I'm curious, what artists have influenced you guys? I mean, and this doesn't have to just be music, because I know for me, it can kind of cross over. Certain things will speak to me and remind me of pieces of music. So what pieces of speak to you, and like, I guess if I were somebody who was just wanting to get into the scene, where did you start out? Maybe that might be a good place for me to go.
I started out with Black Flag, the Circle Jerk, obviously the Ramones, and all that stuff. And I'm also a huge Tom Waits fan, which mixes up a little bit. But yeah, definitely the old punk rock and Fat Brains.
And for me, I'm not trying to get political here, but I align with a lot of punk ideologies. Like, people are people. No one's better than anyone else. And I really felt the punk ideology and like their message they were trying to convey. Like, just let me do what I want. I'm just, trying to live my life. So I am too. I relate to that. And I don't think they fully are punk, but I mean, they definitely align with it. But Rage Against the Machine definitely was a huge, like, entryway into that ideology for me. Like, all their songs are just like, they're powerful and they're angry. They're like, listen to me and what I'm saying. And I've always been a very vocal, I'm a very tangential person, if you haven't heard me yap already. And that's what I like about punk. It's just like, say what's on your mind. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. Someone's going to hear you and someone will understand you. And that's kind of what Matt told me with our first band. He was like, if you don't know what to sing, just yell whatever you're thinking. Put your thoughts out there. And I love that punk is like that. It's just like, say what you want, express yourself. I think everyone should be able to, like, identify with that and get behind that.
Yeah, there's a lyric of a song. Am I allowed to cuss, or should I mute? Should I be PC about it?
Which song is it?
It's a song by Operation Ivy. It's a song called Good, but there's a line in there. I won't say the word. I'll make
fine.
it. It says this is no freaking fashion. And I just proved that at 43 years old, getting off of a train and over and found my people. And I hung out with them for 4 hours till so that's how we find ourselves too,
So
that's one community thing that we're trying to build.
So a few other bands I personally admire are Husker Du, Minutemen, The Replacements.
Oh, Mike on the bass and Minutemen. Oh God, he's a great bass player.
My favorite is Laura Jane Grace. I just have to mention.
Well, from Against Me. She used to be in Against Me.
Yeah, she's by herself.
I also really enjoy well, they're a lot more obscure today, but they were something back during the 80s. Have any of you guys heard of the Gang of Four?
Yes.
Oh,
I've heard of them, yeah.
He's got 3 of their 7 inches.
Oh yeah, they're very danceable, but they're also punk. Another good, I also really enjoy the ska punk bands of the 90s and the 2000s, like Sublime, Badfish. Who else is there? music was just ska punk is just so chill.
Yeah,
I
well,
love
Operate
ska punk.
got the punk, on the punk side.
Well, Sad Rat is a local band in their ska. They're out of Bloomington. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're amazing.
What's the name of the band?
Sad Rat.
Yes, Sad Rat mentioned.
I'm
Sad
gonna
Rat.
write that one down because I go out to Bloomington all the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
They're gonna be at Pizza Works July 5th.
Oh, all right. I can keep it local.
that's another one of our shows we're putting on.
Oh yeah, is it the same thing? $10, 8 to midnight kind of deal.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, awesome. Yeah, and I don't have to go to Bloomington. Just hang out
So
here in
that
Peoria.
one has the Disasters, No Solution, their Peoria band, Sad Rat from Bloomington, and Atkins Victim. They're from up near Chicago.
In the suburb of Chicago.
They're super punk and super
political.
super political. They're amazing.
See, I find myself talking politics all the time nowadays. But we're free to talk politics on here. Like I'm totally open to it. Like
That's
it's
part of-
whatever's
that's part of-
whatever's on our mind is on our mind. Because like I think that the punk ideology carries. I mean, I think it's been politicized, but there's kind of like this anti. The way society has been moving, and and really a more individual freedom, but not necessarily at the cost of society. I don't know. I see it as like being punk is this really very smart and articulate balancing act that you have to do. But I find myself aligning more and more with the punk way of life.
Well, our country was built on for the people, by the people, but a lot of people don't realize that. But a lot of the punk rock community realizes that this is our country, not one person sitting up on a throne.
Yeah, giving away our tax dollars and keeping us in perpetual poverty, essentially finding a way, keeping us in debt and using that debt to enslave us. It's fantastic. But we have freedom. Yay. Sorry, I'll get off my high horse there. But it's important, especially now. The punk ideology is something that I think people really resonate with, and in this time, it's something that's really needed. Something that can go against the grain. I just don't see it very much anymore. And like punk rock has been consistently good at that. I mean, like outrageously good at going against the grain in all the right ways.
That's my favorite Bad Religion album, Against the Grain.
It's a good one.
I put that one.
That Supper's really good.
So I'm learning a lot about punk, so I like to take notes of the different bands.
In
Yeah.
I guess my first band, we went by like two names, so I'm just gonna refer to it as my first band. But a lot of my songs were influenced politically. I tried to make it kind of like political undertones. Like if you're smart enough to read into it, you'll kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. I wanted it to be like enjoyable, but also have a message behind it. But like now when I write, I'm just like, I'm less smart about it. I'm just like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's in your face. If you don't understand it, then like, where are your brain cells? You've got two of them and they're fighting for third place. I love that punk is like that. It's like, this is what the F I'm saying. This is how the F I'm gonna say it. Like, if you don't like it, you can F off with it. Like, I just love that. Like, it's so loud and aggressive, but like a safe space to have those aggressive feelings. Because like true punk, like, it is loud, it's aggressive, but it's not hurtful. It's like Matt said, it's like by the people, for the people. It's a supportive community, all for like one or two similar goals. Like support the people around you, have fun with the people around you, just like be you. I love that. I love the do you type of thing. I'm a very do type of person.
I'm also very much against the two-party system. I don't like how we just have two-party systems because they have two parties, and guess what? I have two middle fingers for each one of them.
I mean, yeah, and it's palpable, since what 2012, or I mean, how many years ago when Citizens United went into effect, and it effectively allowed dark money to flow into the system, unabated. That is completely upended, everything that our whole way of life. It came down to this one court decision. But I mean, if you really look at it, it was a slow erosion that really started happening in 1973 and maybe even a little bit before that.
However, things might change for the better soon because right now, from what I've seen, I follow a lot of political movements and stuff on social media and watch a lot of news shows. So right now, there is the popular movement that's regaining rise is left-wing populism within the United States. Even though Bernie Sanders did not win the two presidential campaigns he was in, I believe he will be a sort of a, how you say, what's the right, sort of a figurehead or precursor to, similar in a way to how Barry Goldwater was a precursor to Ronald Reagan's presidency. Because right now, like, there's a man running for mayor in New York called Zohan. I forget what his name is. He's a Democratic socialist. A lot of people think he could win. Like, another person, his name is Nathan Sage, I think maybe in Iowa, who's running. Like, left-wing populism is getting a lot of wins across the country. So things might be changing for the better.
Well, I just want. Did anybody see the video of? I'm on the other end of that conversation. I see things as kind of going a slow roll the other direction, but I'm also seeing some people wake up. There was a video that was on TikTok earlier today that was a community coming together and just shaming the shit out of ICE. Excuse my language. They literally just yelled shame, shame, and there was the whole group, the whole community came out. They were pushing them back. They held the line. It was incredible. It was like this is exactly what needs to happen. If ICE is in your community, people need to be banding together to kick them the F out. They don't deserve to be there. If they're gonna somebody wearing a mask over their face, parading around, pretending to be a federal law enforcement officer, get the hell out of here.
Melt ice. Melt it into the...
So I mean, I actually wanted to bring up, because I remember after 9/11 happened, they banned Rage Against the Machine. You couldn't listen to Metallica, and a bunch of Green Day, a bunch of other, actually maybe.
For how long? How did that happen?
It was months.
It was
months.
Also,
they weren't allowed to be
Oh
played.
my gosh.
There was
They're
also
blacklisted.
like certain songs that had kind of like, how do I describe this? Anti-Muslim sentiment were also banned. Like, one example, and this is a very obscure song, "Killing an Arab" by The Cure. Even though the song was based off a book by French philosopher, he was not a philosopher. He did not like being labeled philosopher. He was a French intellectual named Albert Camus. It was based off a book of his called The Stranger.
Yeah, what I'm thinking might happen, and is, what if they do it again? What if they ban certain kinds of music? What if you can't play punk music anymore, or Rage Against the Machine when you go out? And like that, for me, is why it's just so fantastically important that people get their art out there now. Like, get your roots in, get your network established, because it's only going to get way harder when that time comes.
Yeah, I've been thinking. Oh, sorry.
No, all I said was they're gonna have to stop us. Like, they're literally gonna have to stop us.
Yeah.
The more of us that participate, the harder it will be, and it's just like pulling the sheet off. Let people see what's underneath.
So
I can't remember the names about this story, but it was like a headline in Russia, like years ago, of this all-girl punk group in Russia, like protesting Putin by like performing a punk song, and then they went to like jail.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know about the story you're talking about.
It was, I was like,
So,
but I'm afraid of that happening to us, because like if they're just arresting like college kids off the street, not even like arresting, but being like identified and just stealing people, like stealing people off the street. It's like,
Well, and
Yeah.
they've put an additional $50 billion in this bill, and they're going to add 20,000 National Guard troops to the states to continue to expand this program within ICE. What was I going to say? I forgot my other thought.
I don't know if this was like relevant to it or not. I just think this is a kind of weird random detail. But about a month ago, on Spotify, one of I think it was Toxicity, the System of a Down album, it was like unavailable on Spotify. Like every time I tried to play it, specifically Toxicity or like Prison Song, it would say like, oh, this isn't available in your country. And I'm like,
What?
huh. Weird that those two songs aren't available in my country.
That's
And
terrible.
today on TikTok, actually, this man's video is going viral. It's a video of a man saying like America is on its way to becoming a dictatorship. And as soon as I went to like repost or like share the video on my own feed, it was like, oh, are you sure? You might want to be sure before you share this video. You might want to like be sure that this is true information. And so I was like, huh, that's weird. I tried to save the video and it said like, oh, are you sure you want to save this video? And so I went to
data markers.
Yeah. And I went to just send it to my husband just to see what would happen. And then it gave me a warning that said like, you can only share this video to one person at a time. You can't like.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a husband.
I didn't have to do that, but no one has to know that. No one has to know that.
Well, I'm not sure if anybody's aware of what just happened with Palantir. So they've been there. I don't know if it was an executive order or if it was included in the congressional bill, but they are being asked to build a federal database, online database of all of our private information, all of our data across every platform that we use.
I'm surprised we
And-
don't already have that.
Oh no.
They do kinda, but it's not as vast, and everything is siloed, and it's all like statewide programs. Like right now, like they're beginning to access local police department, or like access like the camera systems for like IDOT through local police departments, so they can track license plates. So you've got location tracking, you've got your phones, and if you have any of those apps on there, like TikTok, I've never downloaded, and I will not download because it's a malware program. It captures all of your keystrokes. So if you're typing in your username and password for your bank account into the app, like it knows that you're in that app, and it knows your password and your information now. So like and then they also take your face data and they put it into their AI database. And then they do face markings. If you go to like in China, the CCP there, they do face markings. They have AI in all of their buildings, and they track where you go. Like that's exactly where we're headed.
And I thought it was super weird that they were making a whole thing about TikTok getting banned, and then they repealed it twice. And the first time they unbanned TikTok, when you got on the app, about 24 hours later, a notification popped up saying like, oh, thanks to our efforts with President Donald Trump. I was like, a teensy minute bit of propaganda, just the saltiest crumb of propaganda here. And ever since then, I've been very careful about like what I post. I mainly post like base videos or like my base progress, but other than that, I'm like, this is weird. This is weird.
Yeah.
They also gutted TikTok, like that short period where it was banned. They like updated it and like censored everything, and they built all these like walls to keep us from seeing content outside of the country. Like I don't even see these global protests. Like I collect all these global protest videos to prove that they happened because they'll be gone like overnight.
Yep, exactly. They control a whole lot, but The other thing is that it's a data harvesting application. It's meant to addict you to it, to use it as much as possible, and then use the authority that it has within your phone to just harvest, mine data. Like, that's all that it does. And if you download that app, you've got a profile on you now. And then eventually, not right now, but eventually it's going to be used against us. I mean, I hope not, but it's, very likely looking that way at this point.
Let it happen.
And did you see what they did in the Lilo and Stitch movie? Oh my god. Not Lilo.
What do they do?
What's the older sister's name?
Nani?
Nani, yeah. Nani, the older sister, she gave up Lilo to CPS so that she could go to college. But the thing she went to college for is funded in Hawaii. You wouldn't have to leave the state or do anything. They would literally pay you to get the degree. And then another little small hint of a saltiest crumb of propaganda in that movie is that the Marines, that's a trademarked or copyrighted term. So Disney isn't allowed to use the term the Marines or the United States Marines in their movie unless they were licensed to. And Lilo said that. She was like, oh, my sister's gonna be in the Marines. And I'm like, you can't say that. You gotta be licensed to say that in a movie. What? And I was reading into it and reading all the facts about it because I got my writings and my poems and shit copyrighted just to protect myself because I post them online. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's definitely, you had to network to be able to say that in a Disney movie. That's weird.
Yeah, and they were changing movies so that they could attract other countries' investment. Particularly China is probably the best example. I mean, so but that changes the art that we get. That changes how the artists view the project. It changes everything.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about our mission at PFR is we're fuck the people trying to bring you down. Don't let people tell you what you can say. I mean, we got to keep it mostly family friendly, but other than that, don't let people tell you what to say.
See, and I am personally of the belief that there are no bad words. It is only how you use those words.
As a person of several minority demographics, I agree. It's I don't use hurtful words that don't apply to me, but if someone says a hurtful word to me, I'm like, I know you're trying to be hurtful and it's not working.
It depends on the tape behind the word.
Yeah, intent matters. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think there are certainly some words that shouldn't be uttered. There's no reason to utter them, and I just want to point that out. But I think, generally speaking, what society would point to is a swear word. I point to is its emphasis. It's a way why is it okay for adults, but a 16-year-old in school can't say it? Are you kidding me? We'll let them drive around in a car, the thing that is most likely to kill them, but they can't say the F word. Come on, it's unreal. It's the same thing with the kids I would say kids, really 18-year-olds when they join the military, but they can't get a drink. And I think a 21-year-old drinking age, I think, is silly. I think we need to be more French about it. 12.
I'm 22 and I can't even rent a car on my own. So you're telling me I can go as a kid right now, but I can't rent a car. I gotta be old to do that. I don't want to be 25.
I want to be 25.
Oh, so yeah, 25 is great. It's the other side of 25. It gets a little rough.
No, I'll take 25 and take me back there, please.
Seven's birthday.
Wait, whose birthday?
Mine.
It's your birthday?
Annilius.
Oh, happy birthday. How old are you?
27.
27? That's 10 years younger than me. I'm approaching 40. And it's painful.
Happy birthday from Steve.
On here, I'm 43.
I was like, yeah,
35.
you pulled rank. He's got seniority.
Not on purpose, trust me.
I'm 35.
Is that older? I was always curious. I never asked because I thought it was a rude question, but it's good to know. I'm 35.
I'm an open book.
Oh my God, I'm 42 since everybody else said.
I still take breaks.
The scene though
For
is that
someone
like
who's
the backgrounds.
so for someone who's watching this and they want to support you, what's the best thing that they can do?
Show
Go
up.
to the shows. Yes, go to the shows. Go to the shows.
More importantly, when you go to the show, get in the front, right up next to the band, and support them.
Just
Oh,
show
stand
up.
in the-
Hey, you're asking a lot there, my man.
Yeah. Just show up. Just show up.
I do it.
Once you get like 10 people up in that front, then it just like kind of fills in. But until you get those 10 people, it is just brutal.
Alicia and
I
I drag people up.
People, I do. I drag people to the front.
I'm usually number one by myself.
Yeah,
I
I would have
drag
been
people-
clapping on stage for you doing that. That's fantastic.
Also, sorry to,
No solution. The first time they played for us, I was sitting right up underneath the bar top, like right next to that giant speaker, just because I was trying to get some cool photos. And they mentioned it at the end of their set. They were like, I don't know this chick sitting right in front, but we appreciate you. So every single other time they played for us, I sat right dead center in front of the stage. I'm like, hello, I love you.
Yeah, AJ, on that note, the disasters are super jealous. They want you to be up there for them too.
I will every show. I will be right up there.
Well, and
I'll be
Matt, I
right
wanted to
there
know,
with
Matt, you've been playing drums. How long have you been playing drums for?
you. Drums. Well,
Do you play guitar?
I've been playing guitar for 32 years. That's my main thing and my main instrument right now. But I'm in another band that I play drums too. It's going pretty good, and we're getting pretty close to getting ready to get out of the basement. You know what I mean too.
I know exactly what you mean. Get through that rehearsal time.
Yeah, his other band is actually going to be playing in a show soon.
Well, yeah, we have a show August 23rd at Pizza Works, and we're playing Mates Fest in November. We're co-hosting it with another guy. It's all for charity too, for Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, awesome. Where's Mage Fest happening? Where's that at?
That's also going to be at Pizza
Pizza
Works.
Works.
Oh, Pizza Works. Man, we gotta go. I just need to go down to Pizza Works and hang out with these guys. They're in it.
out of
That's
curiosity,
fantastic.
on Facebook, somebody called Cody Edwards said, "Hey guys," or I don't know who that is.
What up, Cody?
No solution. Right?
I think
Yeah, Cody's.
Yeah. So, and he showed me up on drums big time. He's a way better drummer than I am.
Wait, why are we alive?
Probably.
I'm probably the
Punk rock karaoke.
I'm
Oh,
the only
the punk
person.
rock.
I'm the
Yeah,
only
they're
person
kidding.
here with no musical talent or singing talent whatsoever, since I have not done either of those.
You'd be great. I believe in you.
Hey, I opened for Les Claypool. I can say that. That's a thing.
What?
Yeah,
That's something
yeah.
to brag about for sure.
Yeah,
Putting
Les
my-
Claypool and the Mars Volta.
Nice.
They were really the Mars Volta were jerks. They were mean. I didn't like them. They just got real drunk and put on a not very great show. And they made it so nobody could park in the parking lot, like this huge parking lot, because they didn't want anybody to see them walk 8 feet from the bus to the door. Like they were ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous.
How long ago was this?
They were bloody
Like-
mess back in the 90s.
That was
Oh.
probably 2009, 2008, something like
Oh,
that.
I wonder if this was that. Okay, the one time, like I think the singer and maybe the guitarist or something, they were going through some bad addiction problems. I'm not excusing
Oh.
their behavior.
He was obliterated, dude. Like, well, and their songs are all about timing. Like, it's all about timing, and it was off. It was bad. Like me, like I've been playing music for 25 years, and it hurt my soul to hear them performing in the way that they were, because I knew that they could do better, and they knew that they could do better, and they just knew that they weren't hitting the mark, and the lead singer was so drunk he was slurring all of the words in Spanish together. Like it was rough to watch. And I know that because I saw them the night before in Chicago. I saw them the night before in Chicago, and he was not nearly as drunk. It was like the show was still like meh, but it was marked like a lot better than what he put up at the rave.
At our shows, just to keep a little bit of the punk rock spirit alive, I'll have one Vegas bomb after every set. So I'll usually announce the bands before they go on. I'll be like, oh, this is Sad Rat. This is No Solution. This is The Disasters. But as I go on, it just gets progressively more just like, welcome these guys to the stage. And then it turns into like, hell yeah, get ready for these sons of bitches. Fuck yeah.
You're really good at bringing people onto stage.
I can't wait to see it.
Some of the bands record the entire night or the entire set too, and I love watching the videos back and seeing like, okay, we're normal, we're getting there, okay, everybody's pumped, awesome. I'll like gauge it, like, okay, how many Vegas bombs do I need for this crowd tonight?
Yeah, I just hit up one of my old bandmates like last week, and I was like, hey man, do you remember that show we played up at Clearwater? It was this set. And he's like, yeah, I remember that show. I'm like, do you have the recording for that? Because back then, like they recorded all the shows because, we were going to ask them anyways. So they would give us a CD after the show of the recording. And he was like, yeah, I got it. So I'm like, yes, I've got the show from like 16 years ago. Like, I feel like I just crushed it. Like I felt really, really good after that show, but now I'm finally going to get to listen to it back and be and critique myself, oh my God, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. I know it, but how bad?
Oh my God, I wasn't even in tune for that song.
Well, I was using I had my Warwick, but I was using a completely different rig back then. Oh, I wanted to ask you, what's your main piece that you play? What's your main guitar?
Me?
Yeah.
I have Frankensteins.
Me too.
I have a lot of guitars. I bought a lot of broken guitars just so I can swap parts out. And I always put good electronics in it. So my main one is probably, you would call it a Telecaster body, but it's got a Stratocaster neck on it. That's my go-to guitar.
Have you ever heard of bootstrap pickups?
I use all my guitars.
What's
I'm a
that?
big fan.
Bootstrap? You know them?
Oh no, I don't. I use Seymour Duncan's. That's my go-to.
Hell yeah. Oh, so wait, I actually use Seymour Duncan for a long time, but then my buddy we do a lot of just guitar work, and it's just one of his hobbies that he does. And he turned me on to these guys. It's like some brothers or something working out of a garage in Ohio. And they're like, all right, we bought this big ass garage. We're going to buy all of our things in bulk so that we can give you the cheapest stuff as possible, but make it as high quality as we possibly can. And so I ordered these pickups. They're called Prunos. They're 14.5K single coil with 0.25, they're Alnico 5 magnets. So they're just like gigantic magnets with huge output. And when you put it through a tube amp, it is just the dirtiest sound on earth. I can rip I rip the crazy. It's like the Invader on steroids, man. Like I can create the craziest punk tones, and I love it.
So my Seymour Duncan, my favorite guitar, is actually one of those like slimline. It's a humbucker, but it fits into a single coil, and it's
the hot stack. Yeah,
I love it.
And if anyone ever seeing this would want to check out my Facebook page and see my bass videos, one thing I do that I think is kind of cool, like with the guitars and like practicing and everything, is I only post videos where I suck. I don't like posting videos where I get things right. So I feel proud of myself for fucking up almost. I'm like, yeah, these strings are out of tune and I'm totally not positioning my hand right. but like watch me fuck up so you can learn from it. Like people have even come to me being like, actually the way you fucked this up kind of helped me play my part correctly, so thank you for that. And I'm like, hell yes, I'm so glad that like guitarists and like people of other instruments are like, hell yeah, your fuck up saved me. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Hey,
So I don't know how that works, but I love that like me messing up and not doing things right is helping other people with theirs. I think that is so cool.
Well, I can explain that. I'll get to you in just a moment, Achibon, because I know we're past our time at 8:00. But I'm a perfectionist, so like when I'm sitting and playing, like I want the best. I want the best for myself, and when I record, I can always find something in the recording that I'm like, I don't need to post that thing. But having someone who's just got the courage to go out there and just post it, just post them messing up is like, yeah, like that's exactly what I need, because that's what I need to allow myself to fail forward. Unless I, address this problem, for myself, acknowledge it and address it head on, I'm never going to overcome it. And I feel like that's, there's probably a lot of people that feel like me in that regard. And to see somebody do that, it's inspirational. Like gives me the courage to go and do it myself.
Can't be good unless you suck.
Exactly. You got to suck first.
Say it again.
Practice makes progress. Okay, well, I think that was Hachimon's giving me a look. So thank you, Anilius, Alicia, AJ, and Matt for being here. This is a PFR Promotions. That's an appropriate distinction. Next, we have our show coming up on June 14th at the Pizza Works, 8 p.m. to around midnight. $10 a head. Eardrum Explosions is the name of that show. Check us out on Facebook. And you said, do you still have an Instagram right now for PFR Promotions?
It's been deactivated, but I will have it back up. The username is PFR Promos.
PFR Promos on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for being here today and talking about the arts. Please come back anytime. Let us know how we can help. We want to put your message out there to everyone, and I'm certain that it's going to capture them the same way it's captured me and Anshuman today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for everyone for tuning in to our show, and everyone have a good night.